I know I'm gonna hurt some feelings, but here it goes. So make sure you like and subscribe. I'm about to get into this. I'm gonna try not to take too much time to convey this little message. But the title is The Reason Why Men Don't Want to Be Married. Okay. I know a lot of people think that marriage is so beautiful and that men and women alike should want to do it. But history and relationships should have been show us that they don't, and we should know the reasons why. If we don't, here goes. So, marriage has never really been a thing that men just wanted to do. Okay, for a long time, it was something that men felt like they had to do in order to, have their lineage go on. It was something that they had to do in order to make sure that the lineage that they were creating was being raised in one household with the same woman, under the same values that they had. It was something to keep, the family name going. And men were also doing it to make sure that they had someone in the house to take care of their house. The cooking, the cleaning, someone to take care of them. Of course, sex that they could expect to have on a regular basis when they want it, because their woman was and is basically their possession. Okay. And this is not just from a biblical perspective, this is like historically, traditionally, how it has been. And not just in American culture, because of course, American culture is not the oldest one. Okay. This goes back thousands of years. This is how it has always been. Man gets woman, man presides over woman, man is with woman, woman has man's kids, kids carry on the man's name, wealth, money, whatever, different things stay within the family, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, so times have changed, all right? Again, make sure you understand that marriage, if a man could have had all of them things and never had to marry a woman to get those things, a lot less people probably wouldn't have been married. A lot of women was requiring, in order for me to have your child, you had to marry her, make an honest woman out of her, all of this type of stuff, in order for them to have the things that they wanted. So it was kind of like, in order for me to get what I want, I gotta do this. Okay. So at our present time, the reason why a lot of men now are expressing that they don't want to get married is because they've realized that we can still get what we want with women. We can still get sex. We can still have children, carry on our name and lineage. We can still get food and meals out of them. We can still get them to wash our clothes and clean our homes, and they could hire a maid. They could have a girlfriend, baby mama, now that they never had to marry in order to have their children. The requirements have changed. So why would they want to get married? Another thing, back in these, times historically, a lot of men, different cultures, not necessarily American culture is less accepted, but it was happening here too. Um, but in a lot of cultures, men were able to have multiple women, multiple wives, and nobody batted an eyelash. If anybody did, nobody said nothing. So he was able to not have to be monogamous as well back a while ago. And even in American culture, we've heard of men that had a whole family down the street. We've heard of men that, within some of our families, we might know that our grandfather had another family. It was a popular artist recently that was talking about Cardi B, as a matter of fact, was talking about how her and Glorilla are cousins because her grandfather had another family down the street, and Glorilla came out of that lineage of people, okay? Still came from her grandfather's loins. They just didn't have, the same females, okay? Now, with that being said, that wasn't even that long ago. Look at how young these women are. So everybody knows that back then, grandma, whatever, maybe didn't have the rights, the abilities, the knowledge that women nowadays have. So what did they do? They could know that the man had this family down the street and didn't say shit. This man was taking care of them, making sure that them and their children had whatever that they needed, so on and so forth. So they didn't say nothing, whether it was hurt or whatever. Now you have women who are making more than men, who are able to do more than men. There's women are living their best life. They traveling. They doing whatever they want to do. They going, if they want a baby, they going to the in vitro clinic or whatever the fuck it is and make their own damn baby. Get a sperm donor. Man, don't even gotta be involved. Okay. So why would a man now look at marriage as such a deep thing or such a pressing thing or such an important thing that he has to do? Women are more willing to get with the man, not have any sort of legal agreement, not make the man have to marry her first. And this is regardless of race. Now there are some cultures where it's customary that this still has to happen in order for the woman to bear the man children. I've heard that if you go to different countries, you see a lot less women that are really hardly none that are unmarried but have children, or have never been married but have children. Usually if they have children, ain't no man around, it's because he dead. Okay, something big happened, something like that. But normally those women in other countries, they focused on their life and whatever, and they still have that traditional aspect of, no, you got to marry me before I do dot and dot. In this country it's a little different, and in some other countries it's different, but especially in North America and the United States where we're at, it's different. Okay, a lot of women don't have that same leading and guidance and rigidness as far as in how they should treat themselves in their womb and stuff like that. A lot of women, allow themselves to get into situations with men, have sex before marriage, and where if it's unprotected, sometimes it can't be protected, or maybe they was on birth control or whatever and it didn't work. Bam, a baby. If they don't abort, guess what happens? Now you was a single mom. Whether this man is involved or not, you're considered a single parent. If he don't go on to marry you, it is what it is. So men have realized that I could have a baby, I could have a woman in my house, cooking, cleaning, washing my drawers, doing everything, and I don't gotta marry her. It goes back to the, why buy the cow if you can get the milk free? Okay, and that's a real old statement. Men have realized that they can get the milk free and they never have to buy a cow. Okay, that's a big one. Another thing is, women now are, I ain't gonna say smarter, but they're more keen on when and if a man is doing something, and they're more likely to say something about it. They're more likely to see something to say something than ever before. They more likely to start some stuff about it. They more likely to cut off the man's access to them if they find out about something going on. They're more likely to cause a scene or a ruckus or some sort of issue, it's more likely to not go well. Okay, they're not gonna just fold their hands and be like, "Hey, that's what he do over there. I'm concerned about what he do over here. He paid bills over here this month. If he go over, Shirley house, it is what it is." These women nowadays, they not into that. What you mean you was over here and now you going over this one house? What you mean you was over here and now you going to sleep with her? Nah. The women nowadays are not as accepting. It's gonna come with some issues, okay? And a lot of women nowadays are not okay with anything as far as poly behavior. It's always a back and forth conversation. It's normally negative when you talk about polygamy, versus monogamy and things of that nature. I need y'all to know something. Monogamy has never been natural to men. Okay? I don't care where they from. It's never just been natural. This is why a man can be, let's say, at a restaurant with his significant other, girlfriend, or wife. And if a woman walk past that, wife, girlfriend, whatever, could be fine, could be beautiful, makeup done or no makeup, hair done, whatever way he like it. She got on a nice outfit. She smell good. He could love her to death. Don't matter. She could have had 10 of his kids. Don't matter. This is why, just it's instinct. It's naturally ingrained. It's just in them to stray. They whether it's a straying with their whole body or a straying with their eyes, they gonna look at the waitress. They gonna look at the woman sitting over there at the other table. It's natural. It's what the fuck they gonna do. They men, okay? They like boobs. They like ass. They like, a waistline, whatever their kink is, whatever their fetish is. They like nice feet. They like hair. They like long hair, short hair, blonde hair, red hair, black hair. It don't matter. It's a woman. They like the beauty of a woman. They like the silhouette of a woman. They like the smell of a woman. So if she could walk past and not even be as fine as his wife or girlfriend, don't matter. He's still gonna look. He's still gonna look. He's still gonna think about it. He's still gonna, cause she has what? A vagina. Okay. She still has the same sexual organs as the woman that he's sitting across from. And if that feel good, that might feel good too. She got this. She know how to do this little trick. She might know how to do 10 tricks. And he want to know what them tricks is. Okay? It's just depend on what type of discipline the man has. It's going to determine whether or not he remains monogamous or not. It is not natural. Like with women, we meet a guy and, oh, I'm yours. And to me, I don't even really, I've been researching this more, and so I'm not for sure if monogamy is really natural to women or not. But there's a lot of things that we don't say and we don't let on and stuff like that. Because y'all done been with y'all man somewhere and see another man, you know what I'm saying? Usually it'd be a man that look better than the man you got. But it could be some other factors. It could be, oh, his cologne is nice, whatever. And women look too. Okay? We have more reverence, more respect. We're more concerned about how we're perceived and things like that. Maybe that's why, women is less likely to think of more so on the poly plane of things. All right? We get our man, we happy with that man, we ain't necessarily looking for nothing else. Maybe. Okay? But definitely I know for a fact that men, monogamy is not natural to them. Simply the fact that we outnumber men, and for a whole lot of time we've been outnumbering men. Okay? So how is it that a man, just logically speaking, how is it that you think one man is like, I'm looking for this one woman, when it's 4 or 5 women to every man? Why would he think that? You know what I'm saying? There's enough women on the planet, and not, we're not even talking about females, like as far as babies, kids, whatever. No, there's enough women, grown women on the planet, that every man could have at least a couple of women to himself. This is real shit across the board. Out of all of the billions of people in the world, we outnumber them. So why would they, just on the animal instinct of it, why would they only want one? That's crazy. There's not too many species. If you look it up, if you look up monogamy, there's not too many species that are monogamous. From the animal kingdom on to us, there's not too many that's monogamous. Okay? So, you're dealing with numbers, you're dealing with their thought process, and just the way things are now versus what things were before. So it just lets me know that it's a lot of men that really don't give a fuck about being married, and there's reason why. Big reasons why. I think if a woman nowadays still wants to get married and wants to be married and wants to find that man that wants to get married, she needs to, and wants to be monogamous, she needs to be asking certain questions about, how he feels about monogamy, and is that something that he truly wants. Not assuming that we're going to get together and we just going to be monogamous, it's just going to be me and you. Because he could have it in his head that he wants two, he wants three. That's how you end up with he with you and he got one or two side things. And he got to hide it from you because he know you going to flip out. Because you haven't taken no time to understand him. He just trying to understand you. He trying to keep the peace. He trying to make sure, a lot of men that I know that are monogamous and have been monogamous for a long time, they have told me that they've stayed with the same person because they wanted to make sure they had all their kids with one person. They stay with the same person. Let's say she's annoying. Let's say she's a nag. Let's say they dealing with some shit that they really don't want to deal with a person, right? Let's say they deal with that and all that once they got kids with them, because they know it's cheaper to keep her. It's way more. It's gonna be way more work involved, more difficulty involved for them to be able to keep with the relationship with their children if they sever ties with this woman. Okay. And it's also, this is the discipline. Okay, it has something to do with what they feel like they're going to lose. A lot of times, what are they going to expose themselves to, especially since we're learning that there are some STDs, STIs that a person can contract even if they're wearing a condom, depending on all the different things that people do sexually. Okay, you can catch something by kissing a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's some men that's like, nah, I'm only gonna stick with this one because I don't want to run the risk of, so there's the self-preservation aspect. Might not have nothing to do with the woman. Of course, he don't want to bring her anything, because what if I bring her something, then now the trickle down effect, my relationship, with my children, I may not be able to have that. She gonna take them. My finances is gonna be, affected in a negative way. So again, why get married if I could have all these things that I want? I could have this girlfriend. I could have kids. I could have, this person, that person. Because if we just girlfriend, boyfriend, it's a different dynamic than I married you. If we just girlfriend, boyfriend, we can just go to court. We can deal with certain stuff. We don't have to worry about going to court for the relationship itself. Different allowances and different things happen when you marry versus single, and you dealing with kids. It's a whole can of worms that opens basically for men when they decide to get married. Now, I'm not saying that marriage is bad. I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that there's no men that want to be married, because there are some that really want that. Okay, but overall, for the most part, and this is not a black thing, white thing, Chinese thing, like, I'm talking about simply the sexes. for the most part. Ask your average man. A lot of them do not want to be married because they gonna get everything that they want to get anyway, and they don't have to be. And if they do end up getting married, it could affect so many different things that it's more trouble than it's worth to a lot of them. Just ask a man. I try my hardest not to entertain, listen to, talk to women regarding this subject, because a lot of women get in their emotions. They're not thinking logically when it comes to this shit. But this is the logical reasoning. Okay, this is why a lot of men feel like they the prize. I've heard men say things like, "Well, if I get married, the woman gets access to this, she gets access to that, she gets the ability to do this, she gets the ability to do that." With the new age of things, she could work, she could have her own money, but I still gotta spend mine. I still gotta make sure everything is taken care of. I still gotta provide, protect, profess. If she don't want to have kids, that's another thing. A lot of men got married before. Because you got married, that means you was gonna have however many umpteen kids to carry on your name. Now, a lot of women don't even want to have kids. Nothing wrong with not wanting to have kids neither. I'm just saying this is how it is. A lot of women don't want to have kids. Or if they do, they want to only have maybe one, two, if that, and how long a man might have to wait for them to have them two kids. Because what? A lot of women are, engrossed in their own things now. We want our own careers. We want our own businesses. We want our own money. We want to be able to make certain decisions and do different things. So he might have to wait, 2, 3, 5 years into the marriage before he get the kid that he so much desired to carry on his name and all this kind of stuff. And he's looking like, I could have went with Keisha down the street, didn't even have to marry her, and would have had a baby next year. I ain't got to worry about paying all Keisha bills, doing everything for Keisha. All I had to do was, have a baby with her. She gonna take care of the baby. I get to drop in, see him every week, or maybe get custody. I don't know. But a lot of men don't have it. So let's talk in terms of the ones that don't. I could go see my child every week, get some coochie from Keisha, pay some child support, maybe throw her, kick her a few other dollars. Go on about my business, and guess what? I could go get another one, and another one, and another one. Every man is not trying to keep everything in-house. Every man is not logically thinking like that. Every man is not planning his life out like that. Nowadays, a lot of men are not. They don't see the value in it because a lot of women took the value out of it. And this is not saying specifically, any woman that's watching this, this is not saying specifically that you're the problem or you're the reason why they don't want. No, it's just an overall change and shift in how the dynamics of our society is. So I'm not saying give up on wanting marriage. I'm just saying if you going to get married, be realistic. Okay? I think a lot of more marriages would last longer if both parties were realistic. And saying that, what, I understand that, you're not getting everything that your grandpa got. I'm not going to give it to you. Being more open to the possibility of that he might want somebody else at some point. Work that out. Have that uncomfortable conversation. Ask it. Because he might not. He might be cool with just you. It's rare. But he might, But to not have those conversations at all and just assume and believe that, because we this, everything stops screwed. Yeah, all right. Okay. But just want to make sure that everybody understand it is not natural for a man to be monogamous. It is their nature for them to want to go outside of that. And since it's not as easy for them to go outside of that without it becoming an issue now. It's way easier for them to get it now. Oh my God, you got social media, you got data sites, you got apps, you got all of this different shit. So yeah, you got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They can find a bitch right through their phone. Like, simple. Okay? But we don't make it as easy as our grandmothers and great grandmothers may have done. We not okay with a lot of shit. He gotta, seek out and find a woman that's, with the okay, well, you can do you, and and if you, and then there's some men that they want to be able to do them, but they don't want the woman to, do anything, because that's another conversation for another day about people being possessive and what reasons that they're possessive for. I'll talk about that another time. But y'all need to have that conversation. Is you gonna be able to only be monogamous with him as a woman? Because there's some women who don't want to be, with just one person. They want to be married. They want the fruits of, what marriage brings. But that part right there escapes them. But I just want to put that out there, that those are the reasons why men nowadays don't want to be married. They don't see the value in it. What's in it for me? That's what they want to know. What's in it for them? How is it going to benefit them? How is it going to benefit them in the now and in the long run, and not take everything that they worked for? That's all. Y'all have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Make sure you like and subscribe. This has been Free Game. Toodles.